been a roller coaster, which is something we would expect with such a young team, but at the same time, when we've had our backs against the wall, the team has definitely responded. Throughout the entire season, anytime we've had a really tight set or a tight match, we've played composed and been able to pull those situations out, which has been great. Obviously gave us a winning record and helped us into the number 3 seed. Obviously we needed some help from some other teams to make that happen, but it worked out in our favor, and we're very excited to be playing at home.
I think this season has been different than prior, since we really have been, or at least from last season, since we've been a very cohesive unit and been able to battle mentally, which is something we haven't had previously. So I think when we get ourselves into ruts, because we usually like to do that a lot, we like to make it a lot harder for ourselves, but we are able to overcome that and come out of a 7-point deficit, which is something I never thought we'd be able to do as just Stonehill Volleyball. That hasn't been our nature prior. So I'm very excited to see that, especially going into the tournament. We're going to have a lot of tough challenges.
It's always going to be challenging to play a team a second time, one that you've already beaten, because I think they're going to have a little bit of a chip on their shoulder, trying to prove that was a fluke on their end. At the same time, I think we matched up really well with them last time. We had to switch defenses, after a set over there, which ended up working in our favor. We definitely struggled picking up some of their off-speed stuff at the beginning, but once we switched defenses, we were able to sort of take that on and use that to our advantage. I think that's again going to be a little bit of a key for us, is making sure that we can pick up their off-speed stuff and still sit back and be able to pick up their harder swings from time to time. Again, for us, it's all about us. Like, we try not to overthink what the opponent's going to do, because volleyball is just a game of making changes and adjustments and things like that. So we really just want to make sure that we're focused on maintaining our composure, being as consistent as we possibly can, because we don't want to be giving the other team extra points based on our miscues and our errors.
I'm really excited to be back in the tournament this year. We didn't make it last year, and we made it to the semifinals 2 years ago. So just being able to be back and have some exposure to it, to be able to relay that to our underclassmen and know that we have a chance to make it to the finals and potentially win the conference, and no team is a given. We need to perform at our peak in order to go to the next steps.
Sophia and Rachel, our 2 captains, have just been phenomenal all season. I think Sophia just sort of rolled with the punches early when we were sort of playing around with lineups, and sometimes she was only playing back row, and other times she got a chance to play front row. But as the season's progressed, she's just been invaluable to being on the court at all times. Great defender, just calms everybody down and just sort of gives our setters an outlet regardless of where she is in the rotation, which sort of eases their mind a little bit. They don't have to really force too much. And Rachel just picking up things on the back end, just defensively, just making great plays. Same with Carly. Carly's just been huge as far as a defensive standpoint, just keeping plays alive. We've had a lot of just scrappy rundowns that she's initiated and been able to put ourselves in a better position to score points. And then even the younger players, we have a lot of sophomores that are really coming up huge. Lauren was injured for a little while, and she's back setting now, and helping provide a little bit of stability and a little bit of confidence, I guess. I think there were some adjustments from Abby moving to the right side from the outside, and she's getting more and more comfortable over there, providing a really big block for us. And both of our middles, just timing-wise, has been phenomenal, and just blocking-wise, great. So, we're playing really well, and we're really excited to move forward into the playoffs.
You really never know who's going to win any NE10 game. You could come in thinking you're going to win and get utterly crushed. It's happened to us in the past. It could happen in the future. We're obviously watching a lot of film and preparing in practice to set us up against the Moyne that we saw when we played them, but also watching more recent film to be able to look at their weaknesses and strengths now and be able to exploit them.
Well, being at home is huge. I think we've played very, very well at home for the most part. I don't feel like we're ever out of a match at home, regardless of the scoreboard. We've always been able to battle back and make everything competitive. So And of course, having the crowd behind you is great. Every time you do something really well, they cheer, and every time you do something bad, they still cheer. So it's good just to keep the spirits up and keep the players a little bit more driven. They stay a lot more energized.